For Louisiana versus all y'all, Jared Roser here today with 2022 Calvary Baptist quarterback Landry Lyddy, who is among that really talented group of upcoming quarterbacks around the state that we talk so much about for these next couple of years, and obviously some big things still ahead at Calvary Baptist whenever we get a chance to get back to some normalcy and get back to some football fields. Landry, how's everything been going, man? I know you've stayed as active as you can during all this. What's been up?
Yes, sir. Nothing much really. Just hanging out, working out when I can, trying to stay in shape, throwing with my teammates, getting ready for the season. So yeah.
Yeah, throwing with your teammates. You've posted some videos that are like trick shot football videos where once y'all get through some normal reps, all of a sudden people are flipping all over the field with Jordan Wallace and Joseph Wilson and those guys out there. Tell me a little bit about how that all started to start having some of that acrobatic fun with it and capture that and put that out on social media.
Yeah, we were just talking one day, and Jordan was like, "Hey, I can do a backflip. I want to try see if I can catch the ball." And I was like, "All right, let's see." He just did it. Then we just started just trying stuff, and it just turned into a big video like it did. So,
did it get more attention than you expected it to, or was it
I didn't think it was going to do like as good as it did. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
For you, it's so funny, you guys that we get a chance to see really early in your high school career. We see y'all and y'all are just, it's like a little freshman baby almost. And then to watch how quickly year to year you sprout up an extra couple inches in height and just kind of start to look like grown men real quickly in the face. You were on the radar really early, obviously have just continued to work at it very heavily. What have the past year or two been like for you? What have been kind of some of the strides in your game that you've been proud of with some of that work that you've put in?
Yeah, going into like my freshman year, I didn't work very much at quarterback, honestly. And then as soon as I hit freshman year, I realized that I needed to start working at it. So I just started working my feet every day, running, lifting whenever I can, and just trying to get chemistry with the teammates and stuff. And yeah.
And that quarterback position is not one that Louisiana is as known for producing as we've seen through the years, with DBs and D-line are two areas that really stand out. But up in y'all's area, up in Bossier and Shreveport, there has been a little bit of a history. I mean, the run that Parkway had with Brandon and Keandre and Justin Rogers. Dak is on ESPN pretty much every day as they talk about his contract drama back and forth for what feels like a decade now. Shea was at Calvary a few years before you. Garrett Hable just finished up over at Benton and is over at ULM, and it's been a pretty good tradition up in that area. As you were coming up as a young quarterback, who were some of the guys that you looked up to, whether locally or college pro type guys that have kind of stood out to you through the years?
Yeah, I really I loved watching Shea. Like sometimes I would go to the games and see him, but then even now I'll look up on YouTube Shea's highlights, either at Calvary, IMG, or Ole Miss, wherever he was at. And I love to watch him, and I try to model my game after him a little bit. So,
what are some of the similarities that you see that you do kind of compare across y'all?
Yeah, like his feet were really active, so I'm trying to get my feet like just as active as his were, and he's pretty twitchy with the ball. So,
a lot of times young passers don't realize kind of the full body, the footwork and everything that plays into it. Just go out there and want to have the proverbial laser rocket arm. How was that for you to realize all of those little pieces and fundamentals, and what are some of the things that you do to work on that as you continue to kind of tune your craft through these years?
Lately I've been working with Billy Joe Tolliver a little bit. He's been working my feet a lot, but probably for the past 8 or 9 months, we've gone out there a couple times a month, and he's really worked me to the point where I just like want to just lay down for the rest of the day. And I don't know, he's taught me a lot of good drills and like how to really look at a defense and read it. So I'm really thankful for him.
I'm glad you mentioned him. you've had an opportunity to kind of seek out those great resources. You participated in events with the U.S. national football team. We were just talking, you took the trip out to Atlanta recently and worked with Quincy Avery. What has kind of fueled some of that for you to continue to get out there and really make those connections and find those opportunities to get that work and get those mentorships from really around the country, or at least around the region at this point?
Yeah, I like going to different places, like see what each one says and bring it back here. And then, like, let's just say I get a drill from Atlanta, Dallas, and all these other places, and then I'll just come home and work on each one in one workout. So I just like to see what all of them say and just put it all together.
What is, through some of those journeys and finding these different resources and different drills to work on, have there been any that have stood out that really kind of caught your attention, whether because you would have never thought about it or you didn't realize what kind of the use of it was at first until you got in it and started to see some of those results, or something that you've just kind of really taken to, even if it was, right away?
Yeah. I guess there's this one drill where you have two cones. It's like right in front and behind you. And let's just say it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll just have somebody shout out a two-digit number and have to shuffle around each one. And I love doing that. It makes you think. And once you like get really good at it, we'll have somebody holding it like 1, 2, or whatever in front of you, and you have to say it while you're doing it, so you're thinking and moving at the same time. And that helps me like look at defenses and still like be able to like see the pocket and move within the pocket and still make reads and stuff. So
you can see that all over your film too, just kind of the adjustment to wherever that rush is coming from, just enough to get away and then rifle the thing downfield. So it certainly pays off for you. The opportunity to go work with Quincy, tell me a little bit about what that was like, what some of your big takeaways from that experience were here recently.
Cool experience. We worked a lot under center that whole camp, and which we don't really do much at Calvary. So it was good to work on that footwork, because at the next level I'm going to have to do that. So it was cool to just like work just under center footwork. It was pretty cool. And they had this Wilson ball that it like gauged your speed, like miles an hour, how fast it was from like when you broke to the time you let go of the ball. And it was pretty cool to see all that happen. Then they're sending the results pretty soon, so we'll see how I did on that.
Nice. I'm sure you're looking forward to that, eagerly awaiting those results. Another guy that you're going to have, or probably to some degree have had a chance to work with some now, is a guy that was a few years ahead of even Shea at Calvary Baptist, AJ Smith, who's now back on the coaching staff, and you've already got a big smile because he's got some really big plans for you whenever we can get back to some football. What has it been like to have him back around school after his experience traveling around the country, coaching at different colleges, got involved with the XFL, and what has he kind of brought to you and really tried to pass on to you now that y'all are working together?
Yeah, I'm super excited about him. We've pretty much worked nonstop since he's been here. Like I just left Calvary like about an hour and a half ago. I was working with him with film and stuff. But his whole offense, I love it. It's a lot of passing. It's air raid. And we have all the weapons to do it. The O-line's really big this year. They'll be able to protect me pretty well. And then all the receivers are super skilled. So we should be able to make a long playoff run and go for the state championship.
Yeah, y'all, historically as a program, y'all have had some success on offense, had some guys that can get the ball up and down the field. But AJ comes in with a pretty strong background with those offenses he's been a part of, and even just a couple of years ago at Jackson State was working with Coach Hal Mumme, who's widely considered among the founders of the air raid. So you're working with somebody that's got a pretty strong handle on what he's bringing to y'all, and I'm sure that's really exciting and encouraging to know what the results could look like.
Oh yeah, he teaches me something new every day. Just even if it's something as small as like just not hitching up as much as I normally do, or just something small like that. But I'm really excited.
What have the conversations been like for y'all, whether the coach is talking to y'all or your group of players as a team of, a player group? with regards to how to handle some of the uncertainty and weirdness right now and the potential distraction that it can be. Because it seems like everybody's still kind of trying to stay as focused as possible and be ready when the time comes, whether it be close to normal time or a little bit delayed. How have y'all kind of approached that and talked about it?
Like you just got to always be ready, whether it be a month from now or all the way till January whenever we play. But I don't know. God has a plan. You just got to be ready for that plan and just follow through with it.
I'd mentioned the upcoming classes of some really good quarterbacks that you're a part of coming out of Louisiana. And you're somebody that, I mean, obviously you and Eli Holstein are super familiar with one another, playing together during 7-on-7 season. And I think you have a familiarity with a lot of these other guys, Walker Howard down in Lafayette. Everybody at least knows of Arch Manning and the big Manning name coming out of New Orleans and some other standouts around the state. What's your take on kind of this group that you're a part of coming through and some of the expectations and what it's been like to hear your name mixed in with that sort of talk of such a strong young group at your position that people have such high hopes and expectations for?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be labeled as one of like those three. I mean, they're all three really talented quarterbacks, and I don't know. I'm just excited to be labeled with all of them. And congrats on Eli on that big offer to LSU, and then Walker just committed there. So I don't know. I'm happy for both of them.
Yeah, you know Eli well enough to know he was pretty hype about that one.
He was really excited.
As was, I think, that entire household. I'm sure Mr. Scott was bouncing around. You mentioned the opportunity for you guys to have a big season whenever we do get back to it. Tell me a little bit more about what some of the early conversations on goals and things like that might look like. Obviously, a lot of potential on the offensive side of the football, and you mentioned the potential to make a long run as a team. What are some of the focuses or key talking points or mantras or mottos or anything like that have come up so far during some of y'all's work?
Yeah, Coach AJ Smith, he's been focusing on OCS. They beat us last year. We should have won that game. And we've been put out of the playoffs in the second round for the past 3 or 4 years. So that's what most of us have been focusing on, and just not letting off the gas whenever we're up. So that's pretty much it.
You've got, as we mentioned, another couple of years to play at Calvary, but some of the college stuff has started to fall into place. UAB was one that was on you very early, and just recently during all of this has extended your first scholarship offer, and you continue to hear from a lot of other schools around the country. I guess that first offer, how exciting was that? What did that mean to you guys to get things started from an official offer standpoint?
It was a pretty good feeling. I remember I was sitting on the couch and my dad came in and he told me, and I was just like shocked because I haven't started a game in varsity football yet. So I was shocked, and I'm blessed to have that offer. So I don't know. Hopefully more will come in whenever the season starts. And yeah.
You had a chance to go stop by campus on the way on that trip to Atlanta to go work with Quincy. Obviously there's no official visits and stuff like that right now because of everything going on, but just getting a chance to stop through and see and get somewhat of a feel for campus. What was kind of your first impressions?
It was a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be. Like, honestly, whenever I first walked up, I saw the stadium. It was a really nice stadium, and we couldn't go in, so we just kind of walked around the practice field a little bit, and hopefully I can go there again and just like go in and be able to look at all of it soon. So. Yeah.
When they extended the offer, what were some of the things that they told you had stood out about you, or anything they had in mind, or just kind of a selling point for them, or sort of how they saw you as potentially being a part of their future?
Yeah, Coach Mods, who's at UAB right now, he was at University of Arkansas. And whenever I went to that camp my freshman year, he really liked me there. So as soon as he came to UAB, he told him about me, and apparently that was enough to give me an offer. So
awesome. It's crazy how that works out sometimes with just the coach movement around the country, and how quickly you can become a priority on somebody's radar because of a connection from someplace else. I think that's a good lesson for a lot of guys, and make sure you're taking it all seriously wherever you are.
Right. You just got to be able to connect with each one of these coaches, and even if they move somewhere different, it could just be something huge for you. So. Yeah.
Who have been some of the other schools that you've had a chance to start building some relationships with? I know you hear some from, I mean, some pretty notable programs. Talk about what some of that other communication has been like in addition to the UAB offer.
Yeah, lately I've been talking to places like South Alabama, ULL, Georgia, Texas A&M, Boston College, TCU, Texas Tech, and there's a couple more, but I don't know. It's pretty cool to talk to all of them so early.
Are there any things that you and your parents are really trying to specifically find out about any of the programs right away, or knowing that you have as much time as you do is right now everything's just kind of taking it slowly, taking it as it comes, and you'll get into some more specifics, I guess, a little bit farther down the road?
Yeah, it's mostly just checking it out, just looking for I kind of want to be a pharmacist, so seeing if they have a good pharmacy program and stuff like that.
Yeah. What draws you to that field post football, pharmacy?
Well, one of my friends at Calvary, her dad is a pharmacist, and I don't know, he makes a lot of money, so yeah, that's pretty much it though.
Yeah, it's a field that gets overlooked sometimes, but can be, I mean, a really nice career to get into. But certainly, if that's something that you want to pursue, you have to make sure you're looking at the right schools, because it can be a little bit more of a specialized field that isn't offered just anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. And for any college coaches that are chatting with y'all and getting a chance to know you, what are you trying to make sure that they do know about you as whether a young quarterback or a young man that they should want to be a part of their program? What do you kind of hope comes across from you and the way you carry yourself on and off the field?
I feel like I'm a really good leader, and I connect with the players a lot, and I'm able to push them pretty good, either in the weight room, off the field, on the field, whatever it is. So yeah.
Awesome. And getting more and more comfortable with the interviews too.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat, man. It's good to catch up. Send my love to your family, and y'all continue to stay safe, and you keep working on football and fun social media videos, because I know everybody likes seeing both worlds.
Yes, sir. We'll work on all of it.
Awesome. Again, he's Landry Lyddy, standout 2022 quarterback for Calvary Baptist, has that UAB offer, and hearing from a lot of other colleges around the country as he continues to work on his craft for this upcoming season, and years more of football ahead before getting into that career as a pharmacist after sports. For Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser.